everybody, welcome back. Today we're not hitting any trails. We got another buddy who's on his way, so we've kind of timed it out where we are going to Pikes Peak. By the time we're done with that, make it back over here to camp, he should be here. So, but really excited about this one. I've always watched like the Pikes Peak races, so to actually go up there and see it is pretty cool. As far as the Jeep going up there, we're gonna get about as far as we can. I don't know, we haven't decided if we're gonna drive it all the way up, or I heard they got like a train that runs up there. We might do that. It sounds pretty cool. So we're just gonna take it as it goes. But yep, today we're heading to Pikes Peak. So sit back and enjoy. Alright, we pulled the air filter out. It's just about getting all the air in we can. We're going to keep sending it, so let's keep going. freaking made it. 14,000 feet. I got the hood up just letting the heat out. Wound up pulling the air filter out, which helped. So, but she made it up. 14,000 feet, boys. We are freaking here. Just look at this. Freaking made it. Holy cow. Let's go see what the view's like. Oh, that's where you can hike up, I guess. That's the hiking trail. Freaking made it, boys. Freaking made it. This is insane. Holy cow. This. Stop doing this. Dumb. We get it. You can stack rocks. Dumb.
Pikes Peak offers something for each of the 500,000 people who visit every year. Pristine forests, clear waters, and rocky trails. The mountain's allure has withstood the test of time, but we must each do our part to ensure its future.
If this is how he looks, I think I could take him. This is insane, and the fact that people will race cars up this, I mean, you guys got cojones that are the size of watermelons, I gotta tell you, because there's no ledge, there's no guardrail. Like, you screw up, man, it's game over, you know. But this is absolutely incredible. If you get the chance to come out here, you gotta do it. I mean, if this Jeep can make it, I mean, you can do anything up this. I talked to a couple that hiked up here. They stopped at some other camp and then hiked up. It was 2.5 miles, took them 3 hours. So they were pretty excited that they got it done. Awesome place, unreal views, but elevation's coming down pretty quick. So as far as we felt being up here in the high altitude, Patrick started getting a headache. Derek started feeling kind of jittery. I feel okay, just kind of lightheaded a little bit and just winded from walking around. It's just nuts how the oxygen thing works and how it messes with you. But I can't believe we made it. This is absolutely sick. And we're heading back down. We'll see you at the bottom. What's going on, everybody? Clearly, I am not at the bottom of Pikes Peak. I'm actually back home editing this video up, and I realized I didn't film the part where I got down to the bottom of the hill. So all I can tell you guys is Pikes Peak was amazing. Highly recommend it. If you get out to Colorado and you're in that area, you got to do it. Personally, I was very leery on the Jeep. The guy down at the bottom that takes your money to do the actual road, we were talking for a little bit, and he showed a little concern for the Jeep making it up the hill, because he had one of his very own, and he said that he probably wouldn't take his Jeep up to the top of there. Just from the fatigue that the motor sees with the lack of oxygen and just trying to keep everything running driving up there. As far as driving up, it's a simple drive. I'm terrified of heights, so that is kind of the sketchy part with trying to drive it and film it, and then also being worried about the Jeep making it up or not. There are a couple pull-offs on the side, which I did use to let people go around that were having no problems. As far as coming down the hill, it's pretty cool. They recommend, put it down in first gear, let it coast, use the engine braking. There is a spot like halfway down where they check the temperature of your brakes to make sure you're not cooking those things. Everything went well, and then we got to one part. It was pretty steep, and on the Cherokees, the oil pan at the front is very shallow, and I think over a period of time with having that down angle, I started to smell oil burning. And when I looked in my mirror, I couldn't see anything behind me because it was smoking so bad. And it was at that moment I thought, well, end of the trip, motor's shot, but we had fun. Luckily, pulled over, found a flat parking lot, let it sit for a minute, checked everything from the top to the bottom, couldn't find oil leaking out anywhere. But like I said, I think with the oil pan being so shallow at the front of those motors and being on that downhill, I mean, it's pretty steep in some parts. So I think the oil just gathered in the front, had nowhere to go, slopped up into the bottom, splashing around, and just worked its way through the rings. Because it cleared up. And since then, I've had no problem. I had oil pressure the whole way up and the whole way down. The Jeep never overheated, held a steady temperature, but just getting it up there took a lot of pedal. I mean, it was almost to the floor, and she was singing the whole way, but she never missed a beat. I did pull over at one moment, and I pulled the air filter out just to try to help get as much air as I could into the motor, and just pulling the lid off the air box was hard enough alone because it had sucked the box so tight I had to get a pry bar out and pop it open. So, but other than that, I highly recommend it. It was a great time, a great experience. Like I said, if you're in that area, you got to do it. There's a small fee to get to the top driving up. We never did find the train, so if you are going, you want to take the train to the top, make sure you look that up first. But we just decided, you know what, we're not going to mess with it. We're going to full send this thing all the way up there, and if it blows up on the way, it was worth it. So, but yeah, I can tell you, it was a great experience. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Would I do it again in the Jeep? Maybe not, because it did it one time and I'm good. But I mean, you never know. Maybe if I get the supercharger for the Jeep, we'll see how that handles driving up there. Well, I'm sorry about the ending on this. I could have swore I filmed something we got down to the bottom, but stick around. Coming up next, we're going to have a couple more trips that we did out on the trails out in Colorado. I am starting to work on the truck again. I got to get that thing done. We're going to rebuild the whole front suspension on that thing. Can't wait to show you guys that. Along with that, we got to get the truck out of the garage. We're going to get the Jeep in. We got a whole list of projects we got to do on the Jeep for the winter to get that thing ready for some spring trips. I've got a lot of trips planned for next year. Fingers crossed they stay together. We're trying to get some people together to do some other trips. And should be a good time. So, you guys, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We'll see you in the next video.